20 amazing human eye facts. Vision is so fundamental to the human experience that sometimes we take our eyes for granted. The human eye is a highly complex organ that provides us with the ability to experience the world in ways that our other senses cannot. Even though we use our eyes during the majority of our waking hours, there are a number of fun and interesting things you may not have realized about your eyes and how they function. So let's dive into the top 20 interesting facts about human eyes. Fact 1. Eyes perceive things upside down. Our eyes perceive things upside down. What we see are made up of light reflected from the objects and scenes we look at. However, because the cornea at the front of the eye is curved, it bends the light as it enters eye, meaning the image is upside down when it hits the retina at the back of the eye. When the brain interprets the image, it turns it back the right way up, so we see the world correctly. Fact 2. Eyes are filled with jelly-like substance. 80% of the human eye is made of a firm jelly-like fluid called vitreous humor that is vital to eye health and function. This clear, colorless substance fills the space between the lens and the retina of your eye. Vitreous humor is 99% water, the rest is a mixture of collagen, proteins, salts and sugars. By filling the eye, vitreous humor is essential to maintaining the eye's shape and keeping the fragile retina in the place. Fact 3. We all have a blind spot. We may feel like we see everything in front of us, but we actually have a tiny blind spot. This small portion of the visual field corresponds to the location of the optic disc, where the optic nerve exits the eye and blood vessels enter. Experts are still unsure why we rarely notice this blind spot. One theory is that the brain fills in the missing information using visual cues in the environment, the other is that the overlapping vision of two eyes means they see each other's blind spots. This simple test can demonstrate your blind spot. Look at the image, then close your left eye and position your open right eye about 8 to 9 inches from the screen. Look at the cross and slowly move your head forwards and/or backwards until the black circle disappears. When it does, it is in your blind spot. Fact 4. There are many protective features around the eye. Our skull and facial features have evolved over millions of years to protect the fragile eyeball. The socket itself is depressed into the skull, thereby protecting half the eye with bone. Eyebrows are there to catch sweat from the forehead and divert it away from the eyes. Eyelids close to shield the eye from light and particles when needed. Eyelashes create a filter for dust and other particles, but also act like the whiskers of a cat or mouse, by sensing when something is close to the eye and triggering the eyelid to close. The entire length of all the eyelashes shed by a human in their life is over 98 feet, with each eyelash having a lifespan of about 5 months. Despite these elements, the eye is still one of our most fragile organs, especially in the face of modern hazards like artificial light and industrial substances. Evolution has not caught up with these new hazards, so eye protection is crucial in these modern environments. Fact 5. Human eyes can detect 10 million different colors. While there are several theories on the topic, studies based on the work of Gunter Wyszecki suggest that we can distinguish as many as 10 million colors. All colors in the light spectrum visible to humans are made up of combinations of red, green and blue. When we see yellow, it is a combination of red and green, whereas purple is a combination of red and blue, and so on. One common misconception is that color is a property of light when it actually has a lot to do with the brain. It is not just the wavelength of the light rays that are reflected into the eye, but also the context in which we perceive things, such as background colors, lighting, familiarity and surroundings. Fact 6. Eye color has little or no influence on vision. It has been suggested that blue and green eyes are more sensitive to light than brown eyes, and that brown eyes are more susceptible to cataracts. Some studies even claim that people with brown eyes are better at responsive actions such as racket sports, while people with lighter colored eyes may be better at strategic thinking. Other studies dispute these theories. After numerous studies, theories and old wives' tales, the only thing that eye color researchers seem to agree on is that there is little or no difference between the seeing abilities of people with different eye colors. Experts also agree that everyone, regardless of eye color, should use tinted glasses to protect their eyes from the sun. Fact 7. Red eye in photos is due to blood vessels in the eye. The red eye effect occurs when the light of a camera flash or other bright light source is reflected back at the camera. The reflected light illuminates the blood vessels of the connective tissue at the back of the eye, which produces the red color you see in photos. Fact 8. Iris scans are more secure than fingerprints. Like a fingerprint, the iris is unique to each individual. Unlike corresponding fingers on each hand, the iris in each of our eyes are also different from one another. Our irises have over 256 unique characteristics, compared that to fingerprints that only have about 40. This makes iris scan for biometric systems much more secure than fingerprints. Fact 9. Nearsighted or farsighted depends on eye shape. Being nearsighted or farsighted depends on the shape of the eye. Those with nearsightedness or myopia have longer eyes, meaning light is focused just short of the retina, when looking into the distance. For those with farsightedness or hyperopia have shorter eyes, meaning the focus point on nearby objects is behind the retina. Both conditions create blurry sight at the respective distance, and can be treated with lenses that adjust the position of the focus point. Fact 10. Eyes can get sunburned. Sunburn of the skin is now well understood, but did you know you can also get sunburn of the eye? The condition is called photokeratitis and can cause pain, redness, blurriness, tearing, swelling and sensitivity to light. Just like how your skin can peel after sunburn, photokeratitis can lead to the corneal epithelium sloughing off. Effects can be felt long after exposure, so always wear good sunglasses when in the sun. Fact 11. You blink about 20,000 times a day. The average person blinks between 15 to 20 times per minute, which adds up to roughly 20,000 blinks in a single day. That may sound like a lot, but each of those blinks plays a vital role in protecting and moisturizing your eyes. Blinking removes dirt and lubricates the eye with moist tears. Each blink brings nutrients to the eye surface structures, keeping them healthy. One study even found a neurological function for blinking. It suggests that the parts of the brain connected to vision and attention undergo a mini reset that could be fundamental to how the brain functions. Fact 12. Scientists don't know why we cry when upset. Our bodies produce tears in order to clean the surface of our eyes. That's why dusty areas can make your eyes water. But what scientists don't know is why we cry when we're upset, excited, or angry. They have yet to find a biological link between crying and emotions that would explain the phenomena. This also means that scientists are not sure why some people are more prone to crying in certain situations than others. One thing they do know is that we are not born with tears. Babies cry right from the start. But that crying won't produce tears until they are between 1 and 3 months of age. On the flip side, we actually produce fewer tears as we age. Fact 13. Eyes never turn off. When you wake up in the morning, it takes a few seconds for your brain to realize that you are awake. Before you go for a long run, you might need to stretch or do a little jogging to get your leg muscles firing. Babies have to learn how to crawl, and then how to balance before they can walk. But your eyes never need to be woken up or trained to work. They know exactly what to do, and are ready to do it all the time. In fact, your eyes continue to work even while you sleep. While they stop sending images to your brain, they do continue seeing light. That's why bright sunlight through your window can wake you up. Fact 14. Eyes detect 36,000 pieces of info an hour. Every single second that you're awake, your eyes are working to process the world around you. From deciphering words to delivering important alerts to parts of your body, your eyes take in information constantly. In fact, every hour, your brain detects more than 36,000 pieces of information. If you are awake for 16 hours a day, that's more than 576,000 pieces of information. Your eyes are not actually handling the processing though. While they do take in the information in the form of light, these images get passed along to the brain. It's there that the light information gets turned into images that we can understand and process. Your eyes have to be incredibly strong to keep up with this level of work. Luckily, they have more than 7 million cones and 100 million rods that take in light and help to send images to the brain for processing. Fact 15. Using screens causes computer vision syndrome. Studies suggest that 50% to 90% of people who work at a computer screen show symptoms of computer vision syndrome (CVS). CVS is not one specific problem, but a whole range of issues relating to eye strain and pain from too much exposure to screens. Using a screen forces your eyes to focus and refocus all the time. The brightness and glare also make your eyes work harder. Over time, this repetitive strain can take a toll on your eye muscles. Fact 16. Our eye have 576 megapixels. If one of our eyes were a digital camera, it would have 576 megapixels. According to scientist and photographer Dr. Roger Clark, the resolution of the human eye is 576 megapixels. It can capture much more detail than today's best cameras. However, the human eye's resolution varies. When we focus on a single object, the eye can reach its maximum potential of around 576 megapixels. But when we glance at or without a clear focus, the resolution can drop to around 5 to 15 megapixels. This is due to the eye's limitation in capturing details when unfocused, unlike digital cameras that can maintain quality throughout the entire frame. Fact 17. We have two eyes for depth perception. Depth perception is the ability to see things in 3 dimensions, including length, width and depth, and to judge how far away an object is. We have 2 eyeballs in order to give us depth perception. Comparing 2 images allows us to determine how far away an object is from us. For accurate depth perception, you generally need to have binocular, 2-eyed vision. In a process called convergence, our 2 eyes see an object from slightly different angles, and our brain compares and processes the 2 sets of information to form a single image. When both eyes see clearly, and the brain processes a single image effectively, it is called stereopsis. People who rely on vision primarily in one eye, called monocular vision, may struggle with depth perception. However, some people who have had good vision in one eye for a long period of time, may find they have acceptable depth perception. This is because their brain has adjusted in various ways to make up for the limited visual input from one eye. Fact 18. Your pupils change size whenever the light changes. Your black pupils may be small, but they have an important job. They grow or shrink to allow just the right amount of light to enter your eyes, to let you see. When you are in bright light, your pupil constricts and gets smaller. When the light is dim, your pupil dilates and gets bigger. The name of this reaction is the pupillary light response. Fact 19. Your eyes can't feel pain. Your eyeballs cannot feel pain, because there are no pain nerves inside the eye. The retina in the back of the eye does not have pain receptors, which are sensory nerve fibers, that transmit pain signals to your brain. This is why you will not feel pain, if you have a damaged or detached retina. This helps make ocular surgeries like LASIK possible. Fact 20. Your eyes can breathe. Your eyes can breathe, but it's not technically breathing. Your eyes are able to receive oxygen directly from the air through the cornea, a part of the ocular surface. It's the only part of the body that does not receive its oxygen from the lungs. The cornea is the only tissue in the body that does not have blood vessels. Like every other cell in your body, it relies on oxygen from the atmosphere through the tear film to stay healthy and function normally. This is why maintaining a healthy tear film and protecting the eyes from environmental factors are important for eye health. Additionally, when we blink, it helps distribute tears and keep the surface of the eye moist, which is essential for its overall health.